My name is Paul Arsenault. I'm a 29-year man at the TTC. I'm a father, a grandfather. I currently am a vehicle repairman for the TTC, and right now I work in the battery room. A set of batteries in the T1 cars is supposed to be overhauled every 5 years. They only have a certain lifespan. If you do not maintain the batteries properly, they end up in the dump and are bad for the environment. They created this room to alleviate that problem. We have refurbished almost all of the batteries that have come in. Some are almost going up at 8-9 years, but we were able to rejuvenate them. So when we get a set of batteries that have been out there for 5 years, going up and down that line in those tunnels, picking up the dirt and the debris, they're pretty filthy. I mean, it's a lot of use. There's a lot of wear and tear. Before you can start working on them, you're putting a few hours in to make sure you can even check them. A few years back, my predecessor, Mr. John Danino, Mr. Shop Steward here, himself and the supervisor realized that there was an opportunity to not only create jobs, but to save the company a ton of money, which would be a win-win for everybody. This was a little rinky-dink hole where they did a couple of batteries a day. They went out, they got everybody on board. They created a state-of-the-art battery room. It's the safest battery room in the world. It's self-contained. You are safe, doing a job that is a high-risk job. You are working with acid. There is potential for a lot of danger, but if you're trained properly, you're safe, and you come out with a fine product at the end. We do a rough clean first. We then bring them down into the battery room, do a more extensive clean to make sure we can get to see all the parts that we need to see. Since I saw the room from the baby steps from its existence, I really wanted to stay in here, make sure it progressed, and one day hopefully we'll have 10 jobs in here for somebody's children to come and work. When they talk about contracting out, I love to use this battery room as an example. In a room like this, my partner and myself can overhaul 3 sets of batteries in a week. The outside company would take 4 weeks to return those 3 sets of batteries because we're shipping them out. There's 148 battery cars out there. To ship those batteries out to the outside company was going to cost $1.1 million. We're overhauling those batteries in this room for $130,000. Hopefully they will expand it because nobody's doing the job to the quality that we are doing it. We've actually had 3 sets of batteries that have been failed by the outside company come in. They said there's no way they can be charged. My partner and myself are very proud to say that we've actually recovered all 3 sets. The outside company, they'll say a set of batteries doesn't work. Why? Because they don't have the machinery to do it, they don't have the expertise, they don't have the training. Done in the right environment, like in this room, we actually save money. We generate money for the company. This room is a passion of mine, and we're very proud of the work we do in here. At the end of the day, when we're taking that subway home, there's also that pride that you're sitting there as a customer and you know you're on one of the safest systems in the world, one of the cleanest systems in the world, and you know you had a small part in that. I grew up in Toronto, I grew up in the inner city. I know what it's like to have people give back to the community, and I thought, wow, people have given to me in their life. I have to give back. One of the happiest points in my life is I helped start up an autistic baseball program. It was the first ever in Canada. The parents knew I didn't have an autistic child. And as they said to me, Paul, your heart's in the right place and you know all about baseball. We can do this. But we were not going to have anything other than normal baseball. So we set up stations. They hit with real baseball bats, real baseballs. Our goal was to make sure that we had a shadow on the field for every kid, which allowed the parents a couple of hours of rest. A shadow is somebody who helps an autistic person, they're direct hands-on. When I needed volunteers, I could step on the floor and ask my brothers and sisters and say, hey, I need a couple more volunteers tonight, I'm short. We have 30 autistic children on the field and I need a shadow for each one. I think I'm 10 shadows short. Can anybody please be there for 6? And I would have, not the 10 shadows I needed, I would get 20 off the floor. And I don't know if I would have that if I didn't work here. It was a 10-week program, and by week 5 or 6, we had these children playing games. They had the nationals here up in York Region. When they watched our kids playing, there wasn't a dry eye in the crowd. Everybody had tears watching these kids. How they succeeded to getting to the point where they could actually play a 3-inning baseball game. And I'll tell you, I teared up myself.
Let's go. Hustle down. Let's go. Hustle all the way. You never stop till you get here. Come on, let's go.
A personal satisfaction that I'm going to take to my grave, and my family knows that is very important to me, was made possible, I believe in my heart, because of my job here.